In this video, we're going to be talking about the properties of the real numbers. So this is stuff that's true for any real number, whether it's an integer, a whole number, a rational, an irrational number. These are always going to be things that you can do with numbers. And so the first one is what we call the commutative property of addition. So unfortunately, it's going to take me a little bit to write all this, and this is given by the expression a plus b is equal to b plus a. And all this means is that, for instance, 3 plus 4, right? This is 7. It's going to give you the same thing as 4 plus 3. So here we can think of this property as the order in which you add stuff doesn't matter. If everything's addition, then the order doesn't matter in which you do it. Okay, the next one is the commutative, and I'm going to shorten it this time here to COMM, the commutative property of multiplication. And it probably looks a little bit like you'd expect. It essentially this, except instead of addition, we have multiplication. And you're pretty familiar with this property because things like 3 times 4, that's the same thing as 4 times 3. So multiplication also has this property where it doesn't matter the order the stuff is being multiplied. If everything is multiplication, it's the same thing. Cool. Then you have the associative property of addition. Okay, and this looks like this. It's a plus b plus c is equal to a plus b plus c. And so basically this is telling you that even if something is in parentheses, if everything is addition, it doesn't matter whether you do this operation first, you add the second and third thing together first, and then add the first thing, or you add the first and second thing together, and then the third thing, you're going to get the same value. So for instance, 2 plus 3 plus 4 is going to be the same as 2 plus 3 and then adding 4, right? 7. Do this first, you get 7. You add 2, you get 9. You do this first, you get 5. Then you add the 4 and you get 9. And everybody's happy. Cool. And so multiplication also has this property. So the associative property of multiplication, and basically looks the same. Cool. And so, this is the same thing. Whether you multiply the second and third thing first, and then the first thing, or the first and second thing first, and then the third thing, you're going to get the same answer. So something like this. Right? So if we multiply these first, we get 12. Then we multiply the 2, we get 24. We multiply the thing in parentheses first, we get 6. And multiply by 4, we get 24. Cool. And then the last property is called the distributive property. And so what does this look like? Well, this looks like this. A times b plus c is equal to ab plus ac. And so another way this is said is that multiplication is distributive over addition. And so if you notice, I called it the distributive property. I didn't call it the distributive property of multiplication. It's because this rule actually doesn't work in the other direction. So for instance, a plus b times c is not a plus b times a plus c. This is not true. And so since this is the only one where it works this way, we just call it the distributive property. We don't have to worry about calling it of multiplication over addition, because this property doesn't work. And so, for instance, just to put numbers, 2 times 3 plus 4 is the same as 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4. And so if we do this operation first, right, there's parentheses, so 3 plus 4, that's 7, then times 2, that's going to give us 14. Here, there's no parentheses, so we have to do multiplication left to right. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Oh, let's just do it step by step. 6, and then now we have multiplication here, so we'll do that first, right? And then 6 plus 8 is 14. And so these two things are the same thing, and everybody's happy. You may think of the acronym FOIL, right? I mean, typically this is used for when we do multiplying two binomials, but it's pretty much the same property. You just have to make sure that everything touches multiplies against everything that's in the second binomial, right? First, outer, inner, last. And so let's briefly cover what the additive... Actually, we'll cut the video here. I don't want to make the videos too long. I'll see you in the next one.